There is Brandon in the chat mentioned that the Lions cannot contend with Goff as their quarterback, which is a little surprising. I don't know if he's doing that just so maybe he's playing producer, which I appreciate, Brandon. I guess my confusion to that comment would be, if you don't think they're competing and you're in the Final Four, you're playing in an NFC Championship game, what do you consider competing?
Yeah. What's that? What is contending then if it's not this?
Let me ask each one of you guys. Take your heart out of it. Think with, let's make this comment with your head, not your heart. All right? Do you think the Lions can beat the Niners?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I do.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So we're all in unison there, and we didn't talk about this before the show.
No.
So that means they're competing, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
If they don't beat the Niners, or if you thought perhaps somebody was giving you a counter argument, and they said, I don't think they can beat them, what do you think the reason for that would be?
I would say that probably the defense. They can't stop the pass. They just go. Yeah.
All right. So pass defense.
You can't win every game. They probably made one error here or there.
Turnovers.
It's an A+. Yeah, it's an A+ season no matter what.
Okay. Weak link.
I was going to say the defense.
Okay. I would say pass defense as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're all pretty close to that. We didn't say Jared Goff.
Right.
No.
I mean, unless you want to take the turnovers into it. Look, it's okay if you didn't believe in him when they got him. It's all right.
I'll raise my hand.
Okay.
I'll raise my hand.
It's all right if you wanted more proof a year ago rather than winning, 7 of their last 8 games. Mm-hmm. That's fine.
I'll raise my hand again.
But when you have the best record in the NFC, when you are the second best passer in the postseason, number 1 in completion percentage, number 3 in playoff rating.
And clean football, too.
Clean football. And when you, during the regular season, if you want to look at ratings, I don't know what numbers are most important to you, Brandon. If you want to look at ratings, he rated higher than Patrick Mahomes and Jordan Love. He was ranked 7th or 8th, I think, in passer rating during the regular season.
I'll get that.
Two quarterbacks. He collected some W's over this year, too.
Yeah. So what is it you want up until now? And I think, and he kind of alludes to it in the chat, I think it's about mobility. Everybody wants Mahomes, Allen, Hurts, to a certain extent, Burrow, right? Because he can roll, and he's not super fast by any stretch.
Right.
Lamar Jackson. They want guys who can who are a threat to throw and run. I think that's why people don't necessarily gravitate toward Jared Goff. Am I wrong there?
I think that there's a lot more truth there than not. I think people believe that it is the true way to contend, but we see the Detroit Lions right now doing it their own way behind the arm of Jared Goff, his smarts, his savvy. And one thing about Jared Goff that has just kind of continued to ring true? Does the guy get injured?
No.
He's pretty durable. He's pretty durable. That's really good.
He's pretty durable. And you know what? People, they continue to say, well, he has to have a clean pocket. I think a lot of quarterbacks would love to have a clean pocket.
I think most quarterbacks do need one.
Yeah.
Okay.
It seems like it's pretty vital to the game.
Yeah. I think it's really important. And look, I mean, if that's a knock, and it's a fair knock. There's no perfect quarterback out there. We all know that. Tom Brady couldn't run super well. Peyton Manning couldn't run super well. Joe Montana, Dan Marino, they didn't run super well. Okay, he can run. He doesn't need crutches out there. He's just not flamboyant or smooth when he does it.
That's a fair take. That's a fair take.
And I think that's why when people look at him, they're just like, boy, I don't know, man. I mean, he doesn't have Dan Marino's over-the-top, launch angle and his ability to howitzer one in between. He's got a strong enough arm for me. He's put up. He's found some tight windows, has he not?
Yeah,
we've watched him all season long. That's surprising to me for a fan base that loves its football, knows its football as much as this area. For you to nitpick the fact that he can't run all that well means that they can't contend, I think is really short-sighted.
Yep. I do too. And honestly, Jared Goff has made me a believer. Just over the last 2 or 3 seasons, he's absolutely made me a believer in what he can do with this team. And obviously, you can't argue against the results when he's the only quarterback in a long time to do what we're seeing done right now, helping to lead the Lions. I'm not going to say he's the sole reason, because there's a lot on this team to like. But this team went in saying that I remember the comment from Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell saying that they know Jared Goff can make any throw that they'd ask him to, and they built the team to the specification of being able to get the best out of Jared Goff as well. And that, to me, is what matters more. If Brad Holmes, if Dan Campbell, if this organization, these players are all believing in who Jared Goff is, and we see now, since the second half of last season until where they are right now, that it's paying these types of dividends, I'm gonna be a believer as well.
We don't have to necessarily believe everything Brad Holmes does is the right thing. Okay, we don't. You can agree with most of what he's done, but if we trust him with the draft, I think we all do, right? I mean, oh my God, when you see what he did with Gibbs and Branch and Campbell and Laporta, how many people would sign up for that draft class every year?
Yeah,
raise your hand, right?
Yeah.
If you believe in what he did with drafting guys like Hutchinson and Sewell, and okay, why do we not believe that he's got it right with his quarterback?
Yep. I was going to say, if you don't mind me adding something in here, Shep.
Yeah.
I have in front of me his 2024 playoff stats. Tell me if this is a bad quarterback. 52 of 70 passing. 564 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, 111.8 passer rating. Who wouldn't want that on their team?
Man.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take it every single day of the week.
That's what I'm saying.
Now, there is a lot of people be like, oh, they played both games at home, and the teams that they played weren't San Francisco. Well, you're right.
52 of 70. He's only missed 18 passes.
Yeah, but you're absolutely right. They haven't played San Francisco, so he's got a chance to cement that a little bit more, and we're all hoping he does.
Yep.
I hope whoever doubts him is hoping that he does as well, because that's what this city would be, electric if it's not already.
Sheesh, man. And you know what? Every road game this year, I've heard people say that this is where they're going to fail, especially the outdoor ones. But Kansas City, they won. The Chargers, they won. They went into Lambeau Field and they won. I'm going to continue to hit that button, because
tough place to win.
That's not just a tough place to win. That place has haunted the Lions, whether they've been favored or not. No matter who's even been the quarterback, for the Packers or for the Lions, it's been a house. They lost to
Matt Flynn there, for crying out loud.
Yeah. Man, oh man, Flannel. I want to.
and Stafford threw. I was at that game. I think Stafford threw for like almost 500 yards. And they still lost. They still lost. That place is unbelievable. I think a lot of people will go, but there's always a but.
Right.
There always is, right? Except for the guys who are elite. Like, we're not going to look at Lamar Jackson and go, my God, you lost to the Colts. Nobody's doing that.
No,
okay,
exactly.
We're not, and I doubt people in Baltimore are. We're going to look at but Chicago. Look how cold it was. He can't play in cold weather. Yada yada yada. That's what's going to happen. Going to be that cold in San Francisco, and last time I checked, the Super Bowl isn't going to be that cold either. So what?
Yeah.
Right? So let's see if he gets there.
Jared Goff, honestly, what he's been more than anything is a narrative buster this year. He's kind of busted every single narrative against him. I thought he couldn't throw downfield. Then all of a sudden, he's hitting J-Mo downfield. He's hitting some of these other receivers. They said he can't get a good ball 20 yards in the air. He's doing that. And listen, some of his wide receivers get banged up during the course of the season. We didn't know if they could win without Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Right.
I mean, he continues to bust the narrative.
And yet they did, and they won without their backs.
Yeah.
I mean, they beat Tampa without their running backs.
Yep. That too.
Yeah.
That too. Man, and we know the narratives in the past has been, well, if the Lions just had a good running game. Jared Goff has won without his backs being there. That's such a good point.
Craig Reynolds scored against Tampa Bay.
Yes, he did.
I mean, come on.